Our next speaker she would like to introduce herself as a daughter, a friend, a confidant, a dreamer, and a learner. She is Asiah Said. Her speech title is A Hope and Feathers. A Hope and Feathers. The stage is yours, Asiah Said.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Hello, everyone. Emily Dickinson, America's greatest poet of all time at once, wrote a poem entitled "Hope is the Thing with Feathers," circa 1861, about 160 years ago. It's quite sometimes way back. She wrote about hope that is symbolized in feathers, strong because it can lift the bird up in the sky, fluffy and lingered in our soul. It's always there, only sometimes we tend to not see it. We fail to acknowledge it. For a person like me, I overlooked it, the power of hope, because I was scared of having too much hope that it would crush me down. I was scared without even realizing that is hope as well. September 25th, 2018, I received a phone call. On the other end, the voice said, "Mom collapsed." That's my brother's voice. "Mom collapsed." And I'm like, sad, not sad, just monotonously flat. It left me hanging. I was not able to decipher what was the meaning of that phrase. My heart just stopped. I couldn't hear a thing around me. I was 8 hours away from her. I was away from her. I couldn't even cry. Should I run? But where to? Oh, okay, go to a car. But to do what? I was numbed. I didn't know whose number to dial, except one particular friend of mine. I called him. Upon listening to his voice, my tears just rolled down my cheeks rapidly, and I cried, "I don't know what to do," repeatedly. I was hoping for him to tell me what to do, because I honestly don't know what to do. And he did. Thankfully, he did. I reached Kelantan at 10 at night. I dashed into the ward, ran to my mom's bed. There she was, motionless, wired, all over her body, somewhat sedated. I called her name, greeted her, and she opened her eyes a little bit. I can see kiss, soft pearl of tears coming down to the corner of her eyes. I had to smile as if nothing happened. Inside, I was asking for time, hoping for time for her and me. Her left brain is dead, right body paralysis. She is unable to speak, to write, understand a speech or a written form because of the damage in the left head. She is aphasic for life. Still, I hope. On a different note, I was working in a northern state after completing my demanding tasks and fulfilling my duties as a teacher and language instructor in one of the varsity up north. From my students' perspective, they hope to learn not just language, but to improve themselves, to learn interpersonal skills, to become a better speaker, to become a better graduate when they finish their college years. They bloom from being passive speakers into a dancing class where everyone speaks up their mind with conviction. In short, in my class, they can do whatever they want, and I really enjoyed it. I was their hope, and I hope I have successfully delivered my task upon what was given to me. One fine day, I received a text message from a parent saying that you believed in her talent, she was referring to her daughter, and allowed her to explore herself. I wish there would be many lecturers like you. I was in cloud 9 reading that message. The table has turned. I became someone's hope. Initially, I thought no one cares. It's indeed an exhilarating journey of my life. Those were bits and pieces of gigantic puzzle that I have that I'm trying to glue to make it my own canvas. Of hoops and feathers, yes, I'm still that bird perching for strength in this challenging time, hoping that I can have a great, beautiful life as well as sharing it with others. I realize now that hope is a fundamental part of being human. It's always present in our life, only we tend to overlook it. I decided to leave Northern State and return to my hometown in Kelantan. My life orchestrated a new purpose that I should not take for granted. I could not live happily knowing that someone else is hoping for me, or at least that's how I perceive it, because she couldn't utter a word to me. That monthly commuting between 2 states did not do any justice to my heart and my conscience. I left and I did not look back. I need to re-engineer my dream, my passion, and my so-called life. In this tremendous journey, I take with me the hope that, firstly, hope gives me better purposes in life. I get to spend more time with my parents, albeit to challenging palliative care. I learn to become more engaged listener and instructor to someone else's children during this pandemic time. I hope to become more attentive person to another person, to a friend, or probably to my community. Secondly, hope inspires me to give back to the society. I revisit my nature project from the past, assimilating it with my new lesson plans for the upcoming use of my future students, hopefully in the future. I hope it will be meaningful for them and impactful. And lastly, hope sent me an array of wonderful souls filled with glitters and gold hearts. They colored my new life in Kelantan. They introduced me to more new friends and social works. They check on me every few minutes, every few hours before I appear in this event. That's very thoughtful of them, which added more butterflies in my stomach at the moment. But thank you guys. You guys are really motivating. All in all, it has been an honor to share this, because had it not because of hope, I won't be finding my courage to share my thoughts and pause a moment in a trying life. When Martin Luther King stated that only in darkness you can see stars, I'd say you go out there and draw your own stars. You look back only to learn from the lessons. It does not define who you are, but surely it will enrich you. Keep your head high. Believe in your conscience. Hope is always in there with you. One doesn't lose hope. One may just overlook it, just like I did. And now I'm coloring my own rainbow and drawing my own stars. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a safe night. God bless. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Asiah. You really put tears into my eyes. It takes a lot of courage to dig into something very personal, and it hurts you, and to share it out in the public. I thank you for your story. Thank you for your sharing. I wish your mom well.